Climate change is one of the most significant issues facing our planet right now. Even if some individuals are unaware of how much their actions have an impact on the world, there are numerous things you can do to keep people informed. Before going on to local steps you can do to spread the word, we'll go through some easy conversation openers to bring up climate change. In this video we're going to learn how to spread awareness about climate change. Now let's begin. Number 1. Send out acceptable content to all of your friends and family. Online videos, news articles, and other media can be used to locate current climate change studies from respectable agencies, like the EPA, NOAA, or NASA. Ask your friends to share the links on their Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram accounts as well. Since so many people get their information online, it's a great way to bring the issue to the public's attention. If you can, look for video clips that are between 30 and 45 seconds long, because people are more likely to watch something succinct than read a lengthy scientific study. You can also trust it because research must be done in depth by academic institutes and publications before any material is published. In order to avoid spreading false information, always read an article carefully and determine where it came from before posting it. Number 2. Use the evidence you've discovered to persuade skeptics. Make sure you read up on the most recent studies you can find, and that they come from reliable websites, such as the EPA's climate webpage or a science journal. Talking about things that are supported by science can be more persuasive when discussing climate change with others. People are more likely to believe and trust what you are saying if they know it is from a reputable source, so be sure to share where you got your information. Say something like, "Did you know that Earth's average temperature could rise by another 8.6 degrees Fahrenheit in the next 100 years? As an illustration, some doubters might not trust authorities or the available evidence. It could be better to focus your efforts on engaging with individuals who believe in climate change, rather than debating someone who does not. Number 3. If somebody can't see the large picture, talk about the immediate effects. Unaware of how serious a problem climate change is, some people may not see its impacts. To help them understand the issues, talk about the alterations brought on by climate change in your town. You could talk about how a person's interests in nature or travel have been impacted by climate change. If the environment in their natural home is changing, for instance, you might discuss how new bug pests have migrated to your area. Another illustration would be to tell your friends that Venice, Italy has been inundated due to the increasing sea levels if they want to travel to Europe. If the individual has a passion for both flora and animals, bring up how 20–30% of species threaten extinction if temperatures continue to rise. Number 4. Focus on solving issues to demonstrate to someone that change is possible. Despite the fact that it sometimes seems inevitable and that climate change is quite unsettling, many individuals are trying to change the situation. Describe the initiatives that countries and communities all over the world are pursuing to support and give hope to the individual. By doing this, the person might realize that they have some degree of influence over the circumstance, and that they are able to do something about it. You might discuss how countries are switching to other energy sources, such as solar and wind power. You may also bring up international programs like the Turn It Off program, which encourages individuals to cease driving instead of just idling their automobiles to reduce carbon emissions. Number 5. Let them know how they can take preventative action at home. There are a variety of ways that everyone can take to lessen their carbon footprint and halt climate change. Talk to them about a few easy changes they can make, such as switching to energy-efficient lights, composting, recycling, and carpooling. Inform them of the amount of waste created by items they only use once, and provide suggestions for finding long-lasting, reusable alternatives. The use of energy-efficient appliances, wall insulation, and water conservation are further things you may do at home. Number 6. Using some straightforward signage, you can reach the locals. There are many prepared posters available online, or you may create your own. On your poster, include some data that supports your argument, such as estimates of increasing sea levels or the melting of glaciers. You can also include photographs or infographics. The posters should be displayed in your neighborhood and in areas where there is a lot of foot activity. You might mention information like the fact that if we keep producing emissions, the warmest days of the year will feel 10 to 15 degrees hotter by 2100. You may also mention that 20–30% of wildlife species may become extinct if temperatures continue to rise, and provide images of endangered creatures as another example. In order to create the visuals for your posters, you can print free photos and graphics from the websites of numerous organizations working to combat climate change. It is important to take care to obtain permission before hanging posters at locations like businesses or schools, because their regulations may vary. Number 7. Through your art, demonstrate the signs and imagery of climate change. A wonderful approach to express your concerns about climate change, maybe through art, because it inspires so many others. You can create artwork using any format, including paintings, collages, photos, sculptures, or photographs, in your opinion, to ensure that everybody who sees your work understands exactly what you're trying to convey, including a statement in your artist biography describing how climate change inspired it. For instance, you could use photo editing software to make a well-known landmark appear to be submerged as a result of increasing sea levels. Another illustration would be to use recycled plastic or garbage to create a collage that displays the volume of waste that individual produces on a regular basis. Number 8. Online, express your allegiance to a cause. There are a ton of online petitions that demand that organizations and governments consider their influence on the environment more carefully. Look for petitions addressing the issue of climate change on websites like change.org and read through their goals. Any causes you support deserve your support, so add your name to them and encourage others to do the same. Following your signature, you may often share petitions on social media to let your friends and family know what you're supporting. Number 9. In a simple visual slideshow, demonstrate what you've learned. Discussing a couple of the implications of climate change in further detail is also an option. Make sure you conduct extensive research to identify dependable sources. Then incorporate the data into your presentation. To keep the audience you're presenting to engaged and interested, provide a few graphics and statistics on each of your slides. If you have a project due for science or history class, this is ideal. When giving a presentation, consider your audience. Make careful to utilize relatable, straightforward topics when speaking to smaller children, such as how picking up rubbish keeps the playground tidy and eliminates hazardous waste from the environment. Number 10. Spread the word locally by organizing a community event, and don't forget to volunteer your time to support your neighborhood. Ask around in your community or at your school to see if there is anything you can do to help spread the word about climate change. You could host a bake sale and contribute the money raised to a group that works to protect the environment, plan a park cleanup day, or start a community garden. Tell others about the environmental benefits of the project or the charities you'll support with the funds you've earned. In your city or neighborhood, look for organizations that are actively trying to make improvements. They might try to spruce up local parks, provide new homes for animals, and plant a variety of climate-adaptive plants. In order to lessen the influence on the environment in your community, and to connect with others who share your convictions, find out how you can help out the most efficiently. Find out if there are any extracurricular environmental clubs or groups at your current school, if you're still enrolled. Number 11. Money should be given to those who can provide greater assistance. There are many non-profit groups that seek to improve the environment and spread knowledge about climate change. If you have any extra money, consider making a donation to help the fight against climate change. Donations can be sent to wonderful organizations like these: Association of Rainforest Nations United Concerned Scientists, a project called Climate Reality Environment Defense Fund, Cleaning Air Task Force. Number 12. Inform your elected officials of the importance of addressing climate change. Enacting laws to enhance the environment and control emissions might be assisted by your local government. Vote for elected officials who are committed to battling climate change and have green policies. Write letters to your elected officials expressing your worries and imploring them to take action on climate change while they are still in office. Educate yourself on the policies of the legislators in your state and city before contacting them. We are aware that contacting or writing to politicians might be a little unsettling, but many of them are eager to learn about your issues in order to better serve as your representatives. Number 13. By monitoring local climate change, you may assist scientists. The timing of plant blooms, the level of water pollution, or how the weather affects wildlife are all things that researchers frequently ask the public to record. See how you can become engaged in your community by contacting local climate activists and groups. Additionally, you can check to see if local volunteers are needed for any national projects that catch your attention. The following website, https://www.citizenshance.gov/catalog/number, contains a list of citizen science initiatives in the US. Typically, you'll have to keep an eye on a particular location throughout the whole of the season, but you'll be trained on exactly what that entails. Number 14. Local residents should be personally informed of your concerns. The sheer volume of protests and meetings planned by climate activists indicates the issue's broad appeal. By paying attention to local community organizers, you can learn when protests are planned in your area. Utilizing the interest that large rallies generate in the general public, you might be able to convince more people to learn more about climate change and support your cause. Rallies are a great way to connect with others in your community who care about the environment.